Yo, what's happening, people? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Straightjacket podcast. It feels like just only yesterday you were talking and you were hearing us, should I say, shouting at the camera. Me and Nuruddin going ballistic after Tottenham's result. But we're back Monday, 5 p.m., slightly later than 5 p.m., but apologies, people. We've had
Big
a
up,
few
that's my
technical
fault,
issues.
people. Apologies. I've been a
Yeah, I didn't want to
bad
blame you, mate,
ADHD
but,
day,
you know,
man. That's the truth, man. Let the truth be. I'm transparent, me. I'm
yeah,
transparent.
not like Richard
Always
Arnold.
transparent, bro. And people try to chat shit to me in spaces, tell me about murder madness and shit. So it is what it is.
Yeah, listen, man. I wish I knew what that Murder Madness was, but I've never seen it come into fruition. But Nuruddin, good to see you anyway, mate. How's your day been other than that? Has it been all right, or is it?
Day's good. Day's good, bro.
Yeah, big up, big up. Got Brian in the building. You get me fresh off a wedding. I see the pictures and the videos, man. You man bopping with Aaron and that. Big up to Aaron who couldn't make it today, unfortunately. But what are you saying, Brian? You good?
I'm good. I'm good. It's a beautiful, or it was a beautiful Monday, and then we saw the news. So now we just have to talk about Man United again for another day. For me, the thing is, I just want to rest just a week. Just let me rest. Let me just not talk about Man United. But it happens every
Right.
day. The weekend was bad. Obviously, the wedding was fine. It was beautiful. But then, yeah, everything else just came by today.
Was it a Congolese wedding?
Yeah, it was a Congolese wedding. It was
Wow.
my first one in it, because obviously I'm mixed race in it, so it was my first one, and it was a beautiful experience. That for a first wedding, it was perfect, like perfect.
Yo, me and Sai need to get on a niece wedding. Yo, any Congolese people
Telling you,
watching, get married quick, man, and invite us. Because these are infamous weddings. So a bit shout out to all my Congolese.
You need to ask Aaron,
Yeah.
innit? He goes to a wedding every 2 weeks. Like he's an expert in
Yeah.
weddings.
That's the culture. We heard that he was moving a bit mad.
Nah, he was.
Straightjacket.
He was.
Man can't even come in here and defend himself, you know.
Big up to Aaron, man. Big up to everybody who's here. Make sure you hit the like button on the video, people. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Subscribe to the gentleman's channels as well. Links in the description. Yeah, listen, guys, we got the news just about an hour ago, 2 hours ago. Mason Greenwood will not be returning to Manchester United. They have both decided to mutually agree to not return to Manchester United, the club and Mason Greenwood. Nuruddin, what's your take on it? Obviously, I did a piece just before. Check that video out. And we will talk about Richard Arnold and his statement, and his baffling statement for me. Very, very confusing statement. For me, leaves a lot of questions rather than answers, Nuruddin. But what did you think of the whole situation, the conclusion, and then we'll get into the statement and everything after that. What's your thoughts, bro?
If anybody was ever under any illusion that this football club is run by clowns, this abhorrent situation, this unfortunate situation, this tragic situation, because let it be known, people, there's a victim here. There's a victim here in certain terms of like what the footage and what we saw. Abuse against women, abuse and violence against girls and women throughout the world is there, people. Men is inhumanity to women is out there, people to see. The evidence is overwhelming. Now, saying all of that, Manchester United's statement is one of the most laughable statements I have ever read anywhere regarding any situation. It's laughable because you have to laugh at it. There's no other way you could take that statement. If you try to take it seriously, you can't. It is laughable. So they said there is other evidence on whatsoever. Read it, Sati. Just read it. Please recap it. Reload it.
You know what? I'm going to recap it. I'm going to recap the main bits because I think it's a long-winded statement.
No. Yeah, just the main bits. The main bit, the crucial bit.
Yeah.
It's a paragraph.
Yeah, there's a paragraph here. It says here, while we are unable to access certain evidence for reasons we expect, the evidence we did collate led us to conclude Mason did not commit the acts he was charged with. I was restricted to what I can say for legal reasons, including the alleged victim's ongoing right to anonymity. But I'm able to share the following with you, which should give you some insight to the case. The alleged victim requested the police to drop their verification in April 2022. We were provided with the alternative explanation for the radio recording, which was a shocked expert from much longer recording and for the images posted online. The alleged victim participated in the process and were given the opportunity to review and correct our final findings. And then after that, like I said to you, it goes on to the bit where the Athletic reported on the situation and basically came before them. And then here, look, it says here, this is a key paragraph for me. While I'm satisfied that Mason did not commit the acts he was charged with, Mason's accepted that he has made mistakes which he continues responsibility for. I am mindful for the challenge that Mason would face to rebuild his career and raising a baby together with his partner in the harsh spotlight of Man United. Further, the case has been provoked strong opinions. It's my responsibility to minimize any distraction to the unity we are seeking within the club. I mean, like distraction to
Listen,
the unity. There is no unity.
It's laughable. It's absolutely laughable. So the biggest takeaway from that, Saeed, is that where he says about legal reasons, right? He cannot, nobody can, none of us can, by the way. We can just go by what we saw, the photos and what we heard in the audio. None of us can literally say that Mason Greenwood has done this, like alleged, because he can sue any of us. He could take any of us to court for libel. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
These things are mad. Like people can move like that. So I understand that bit. They have to be very careful. But why are you not releasing this evidence that he didn't do whatever evidence, the evidence that you've got there? Why are you not releasing it?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Why are you not releasing it?
You would
why
exonerate.
are you not releasing, right? And why is Mason not releasing that? This is the problem. My biggest problem with this, Saeed, has been, Saeed, if me, you, or Brian, or any of us were ever accused of images and audio, yo, I might be in a shock of what I was accused of for Cobbler, whatever. But I'm coming out to clear my name. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, straight away.
I'm coming out in the strongest possible way and saying, yo, that's what you heard and what you saw does not give the full picture.
Can I stop you there, though? Because if the agent probably told him, listen, we can't do that for the protection of your image as a footballer, we're going to take it to... And the police took it to court. Obviously, they charged him. The alleged situation happened. They charged him. Yeah. And then he was told to Man United to not play football until the situation was cleared.
Right.
So
I
disagree with in a sense he can't clear his name because there was you have to follow the due process.
Yeah, but even before they went to court, he could have done it.
I'm sorry to say something. Listen, if I am accused of something, fuck the police, fuck the legal bullshit. I'm gonna come out and say, yo, I didn't do this. This is what this might seem like, but I didn't do it. Mason didn't do that. I'm genuinely sorry.
You're speaking from yourself.
To me, the law. No, it's not about the law. People have done it before. People have come out and said, no, I didn't do this. While the police have been investigating, you can always plead your innocence as well. You can come out publicly. Loads of people have come out and said that.
By statement, by statement.
Yeah, or by people. Like, what was his name? Hudson Odoi. Remember Hudson Odoi? He got into trouble. He came out and said, nah, nothing happened.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not speaking as Mason Green. I'm speaking as what his legal team would have advised him.
Listen, they advised him wrong, then I'm sorry. Because at the end of the day, and that's why I'm not dealing with them, because at the end of the day, it's me. It's not them. It's not them that's getting it. So at the end of the day, for me, Mason is still not to come out. And Mason, in his statement as well, has said, I might have done something. I was clear. No, Mason, you were not fucking cleared. You were not cleared, mate. The charges were dropped.
What about this point here, which is a fair point? Which is a fair point. If he did say that, do you not think the abuse on Harriet would have been more stronger, and then therefore he didn't want that?
Saeed, it's gonna be now. She's getting abused. She's trending on Twitter right now as we speak. She's trending on Twitter, and she's gonna get abused. You know how some of that.
I understand.
You know how some of the fan base move for it. Actually, this statement has even further into doubt, Saeed, that Mason could be innocent. So why the fuck are you sacking Mason? And by the way, they're sacking him, by the way. I know they try to make it PR ways, try to make it like it was a very cold. They all come around, they all sat around, had lots of warm cups of teas, people, give each other big hugs. No, Saeed, it's a termination of fucking contract. He's being sacked by Manchester United. That's what it is. All of it is PR bullshit. And here on this channel and on this fucking podcast, you ain't getting into that fucking PR. You ain't getting into this PR. You ain't getting it. We're gonna speak our point of views on this and our opinions, because we don't use language like that to sugarcoat shit. We're gonna tell you what it is. Mason Greenwood has been sacked because of the backlash, and Richard fucking Ireland needs to go to the fucking gulag for that. He is a prick. They tried it. They tried to bring a man back. They tried to do all of this PR bullshit and it failed. And Saeed, I'm not going to lie to you. 100%. You know me. I know people. You know that, Saeed. I don't have to fucking say to try to prove it on this fucking podcast. People who work at United were ready to fucking quit and walk out, Saeed. Loads of staff were like, nah, I'm done out here. I'm done out here, mate. That's the bit what he's talking about, the unit. He ain't talking about the fans. He's talking about the fucking organization. And you know how I know, Saeed? Not just anecdotally what people have said to us. It's that fucking article that Crofton K. There are senior people.
He exposed them.
Listen to me. No, Saeed. There are senior people, senior players, senior people at the top of this fucking football club who were like, nah, split down the middle. They were like, nah. And Glazers, guess what they wanted? Money. Because they think what he's worth. So forget about all this. Let's be real out here, people. They tried, and all of this is being dressed up as a PR, and they've made it even worse for the victim.
With a statement. Yeah.
With a statement, they made it worse. I rest my case.
Yeah. You know, just to kind of go on the point there. By the way, I'm not speaking on behalf of Greenwood. What I wouldn't do,
nobody, Saeed. Saeed, I'm not gonna lie to you. If anybody's thinking like that, they lost the plot. You were making a technicality. You were making a technicality point of view, saying Nuruddin, he's advised by his team and his lawyers to don't go out there with a statement. Don't because anything. You know, when they arrest the police, arrest you. Anything you might say might be used in evidence.
And Manchester United have got an NDA on him as well. They won't let him speak because they've got the NDA on you. Brian, let me hear your point of view about the situation. And big up to everybody who's watching, people. Like I said, it's a sensitive subject. We are not going to say you can't have your opinion as long as you're respectful. So anybody has an opinion on here, feel free to kind of, mention your opinion as long as you're respectful, like I said to you, to the case, to the victims, to everybody's involved. Richard Arnold, you can say what the fuck you want about him. So the floor's yours with him. There ain't no stopping me with Richard Arnold.
Hey, please bring the guy up. Please bring the guy up who said, I'm going to ruin your channel. Please bring the guy up. There's a comment there. There's somebody who says here that I'm going to ruin your channel. You need to get rid of me.
I don't know, mate. Where's the comment? I can't see the comment.
I'll
find the comment, but Brian, you go first.
For me, it's a bit difficult, innit? Because obviously, when I hear Nuruddin speak, when I hear you speak, you have different views. I then add on those views to my own views. For me, there's the whole thing where it's contradictory. And I wanna actually like jump on Nuruddin's bandwagon by saying if there's any evidence of exonerating Mason Greenwood, then that should come out. They're also saying, for me, it doesn't make sense that you're saying he's innocent, because that's basically what the statement is saying. They're saying he's innocent, but at the same time, you're letting the player go. For me, that doesn't then make sense. Either you stick by your point, and I also think that the club changed their opinion with the whole public backlash and everything, and everyone being negative about him coming back to the club. So I don't think they actually wanted him to not like to actually leave the club. I think they wanted him to come back, and that's why they were saying, I was trying to build like a whole project of him coming back slowly. Everyone was saying soft launch. But for me, either you stick by your own opinion and you do what's best for what you think is for the club, or that's basically that thing. I don't like it when club change their opinion basically purely because everyone's being negative. You think when you're like a CEO, when you're just a big person at a club, you have to make decisions what you think is the best for the whole institution, and not change purely because of what people think. If you think that's the best decision, that's the best decision. You think that's the wrong decision, that's the wrong decision. But don't change because everyone's being negative in papers and Twitter and Instagram. I don't like that. But for me, like I said at the start, if Mason Greenwood is guilty, because like you said at the start, we can't really say that, then it's good that we let him go, and it's about time. But for me, they're trying to paper over the cracks that, because last week they said it's going to take a few weeks to make a decision. And now I think because we lost over the weekend, and it's all negative about Man United, they're trying to be in a good light now and be like, oh yeah, we've let him go. We think about all the people in our club and about the fan base. No, it's not. Something bad happened over the weekend, and you're trying to cover it up now by putting Man United in a good light, which is not going to work for me, in my opinion.
But this is my point, Nuruddin, and just to everyone in here, I think that Adam Crofton basically article exposed a lot about Man United, and this is where I was saying, Nuruddin, they came in first. they seen the backlash that came from that. Then they analyzed it and they based their opinion on the fans' backlash. They didn't base their opinion on what they saw, what they kind of seen from it from the start. You know, the evidence, the mountain situation that was going on, and I just feel like for me, this is weak from Richard Arnold. And again, for me, he should be gone now. That article leaves, again, like I said to you, more questions than answers. You know, it leaves the fan base more confused. You know, I'm not gonna lie to you, he may be gone right now, Nuruddin. You probably say that, but still, Nuruddin, the fact that at the end he's saying this won't be the end and da 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 da, and we'll be looking to do this and we'll be looking to do that. Like, honestly, it's all just for the public image and sorry for the image of Manchester United. And I'm like, you know what? That's what it's always been about, though. The PR of Manchester United has been the biggest kind of, you know, viewpoint for them. That's all it's been. It's about how can they look good in all of this.
Yeah.
And yet again, they've done it. Like I said, the decision remains correct. But sometimes, Nuruddin, it's about how you make your decision. It's not about the decision. It's about how you make the decision. And for me, it's a week
Now,
from Man United. And it's spineless.
At the end of the day, listen,
you know?
listen, yeah. Listen, people can have their points of views in it. And if any of you Muppets want to have a shot at me, no problem. Come for me. I've got, you know what? I got the shoulders in it. I carry you on my back, no problem. And you get backhands right, left, and center. And I'm happy to meet any of the Muppets as well, no problem. On road, anywhere, right? At the end of the day, it's simple, innit? It's simple. Somebody says that Samuel just says, where the statement does it say Greenwood's contract's terminating? He's going away to rebuild his career and not be a distraction. Okay, Sigmund Judge. Okay, let me take care of this, right? Now, when managers and you know the PR aspect of being sacked or your contract being terminated by a football club, you know the PR version is we both come to an understanding and agreed it's best for all concerned that we parted ways. That is still fucking means you're getting sacked, mate. You got sacked. It don't mean that you know, the old days in football, guess what they used to call it, Saeed? You're on gardening leave.
Gardening leave. Yeah,
you know why?
I'm gonna say that.
That was a soft bit to say it. You're on gardening leave. Because you know what? Why that was, Saeed? Because usually football managers would get this contract, yeah? And you're still under the contract, yeah? So they would be then gone until that bit sorts out with their lawyers and all of that, with the finance, sorted out that maybe they just need a payment so that the manager can go and work again. Or if that club wants that person in a box to say, no, you're contracted, you're just on gardening leave. That means you can't sign another contract with other people. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? But so I'm sorry, Judge, if you watch football and you have any knowledge of football, the PR is the most important. They always want to make it cozy, like it's all lovey-dovey. But at the end of the day, Mason Greenwood has been sacked. The contract will be terminated. He will be paid off for him to go somewhere else. And you know what? I never said people can never have second chances, Saeed. I never said that somebody makes a mistake in life. That's there, right? Nobody's perfect. Everybody's human.
Nobody's perfect.
We're all capable of doing horrible things. Everybody is. If you know anything about humans, we're all capable of doing horrendous things, making horrendous mistakes. Now, I really hope that Mason Greenwood can learn from this, can get the necessary help that he needs, the necessary help that his partner needs, and that they can have a beautiful and build a beautiful family, because there are some things bigger than fucking football, right? That the safety of him, his partner, the baby, the future family, all of them, we wish them all well. Ain't no winners here. Nobody is going, we've won or we've lost.
No.
Everybody's lost. Everybody's lost here. Everybody's lost. Right? The idea that Manchester, that footage, Saeed, and those pictures, and Saeed, I say it for people as well. Nobody has come out and said, this is the explanation of these footage, that it wasn't him, it wasn't her. Nobody has come out and said these things. That footage, those photos and the audio tape stands in the public court of opinion. That's why people like me are uncomfortable. Knowing what you know, that violence against women and girls is rife in this world. It's rife. Women are, if we're going to be honest, people, dispensable in when you look at the global aspect of it in most countries. And I want to remind people in this country, 3 women are murdered a week in this country. And it's usually by ex-partner or their former partner, their current partner or ex-partner. Now, I don't mean that women don't kill men. That don't mean that it's the other way as well, that women don't abuse men and men are not in abusive relationships, or same-sex people are not abusing each other. Humans are humans. You know what I always say? Humans are gonna human. Humans are gonna human. So this thing about this person being evil or that's that. No, I just feel like playing for Manchester United, banging the goals with Manchester United, and before anybody gets in the comments says, "What about Roy Keane? What about Ryan Giggs?"
I know there's
you know what?
autism now going on.
Listen, at the end of the day,
But tell the story about Giggs then.
Listen, if the evidence was there, if I could see the evidence and the audio and the videos were there, it would be untenable for Manchester United, any other football club, for them to give that player the opportunity. No, I'm sorry. They've not made this decision, Saeed. They did it on the backlash. And I just want to get one more thing. Aaron Crofton was briefed by senior people who are against this, who said the Glazers doing whatever they're doing, but this was a bit too far for them. So it wasn't your average person who works in the cafe that's briefing Adam Crofton. It's senior people who are briefing Adam Crofton. So don't let it be known. It are people in senior place at Manchester United were giving him the whole hope of layout and showing up. Richard Arnold said everything that I've been saying about the people who run this football club. Everything majority of us suspected. Everybody tells me you don't know what you're talking about. You're just negative. You know what? When I tell you we're run by clowns and that we're a fucking comedy club, do you think I was
realize
joking?
That though, now, Doridin.
You think I was fucking joking?
Yeah, but by the way, can I just say, by the way, there's a couple of comments here saying, but he's not been found guilty. Well, you know what I mean? The reality of the situation is, the
charges were dropped.
That's what I'm saying. This is what I have to stress. A lot of people need to understand. Yeah, I don't know if you know, but the case was dropped, so we don't know if he's guilty or innocent. But what I will judge you on, for me, like I said to you, is the voice notes and what I've seen in the pictures. Again, like I said to you, is that enough for people to have a judgment on it? Probably not. To other people, they want to see it as black and white. You know, it's guilty or it's innocent. But
and Saeed, you know what? You know what? What we're saying is, if there's any other evidence that contradicts that, present it then. Let's see, and that's why Manchester United
but it won't be though. It won't be.
Mason Greenwood is not done.
The case is already over, so I don't understand why they won't. I think there's something there that makes Greenwood guilty. I think there's something there because it wouldn't make sense for someone to be in this high of a public eye and everything, and not not bring out the evidence that makes him not guilty. There must be something there.
But Brian, I'm not gonna lie to you. But Brian, I'm not gonna lie to you. If that was you, brother, are you just gonna say
straight away? Even before, but that's the thing. That's what I was saying at the start as well. The first few hours, first few days before the official investigation started, you already can come out and say this is what happened. This is the full footage. This is the full video. He could have done that before, but the fact that he's waiting so long, for me, that still means that something might have happened in that certain instance.
But we'll never know. This is
not fully. We'll never know. The thing. It's done though. So why not bring it out? It's already done.
I think once the case is dropped, it's dropped in it. I don't think they go back unless she reopens the case, which I don't know if she will, because now they got a baby. I don't think she will probably reopen the case. But like I said to you, there's so many external factors as to why she dropped the case, and people say, "Oh well, she must be happy with him." Listen, it's not the case. Most women in an abusive relationship do end up going to their partner. Yeah. You know, and this is the reality of the situation. So
it's so complex and dark. Listen, it's complex and dark. Honestly, when I was a kid, Saeed, I used to think that. I swear, I'm not lying to you. I was like, so why don't he? You know, people who are in abusive relationships that are around me when I was a kid.
Why don't she move on? Get away from
listen, even that, I'll say, why don't he move on? Why don't she move on? You think it's easy. You think it's simple. Like this stuff is dark. It's dark. Yeah, it's dark. I'm not gonna lie to you. It goes into darkness. So at the end of the day, listen.
Especially because they're so young as well. I think when did they meet? When they were like what?
19?
In school. No, in school.
School. So high school they met. I think apparently they met. So these guys, these two in the couple have been together like literally pretty much every day in a young relationship, in a naive relationship probably. And like I said to you, the situation happened, or allegedly happened, should I say, more so. And the videos came out. The voice notes came out, the pictures came out, and you then have to base your judgment on that. Unfortunately, we don't have
We
any
haven't
more
got any other evidence. We haven't
why
got
did
any
no
other
evidence.
contradicting that.
But it doesn't make sense for him to go back as well. For me, in that
But this is
instance.
part of an abusive relationship. It's both sides. He goes back, she goes back. And I know that obviously she's looking at situations where I don't know, she either out of fear, out of I don't know what her feelings was as to why she dropped the case. I don't know. Like I said,
Saeed, like
we
I
don't
said,
know.
listen, it's difficult to understand what goes on in people's relationships, Brian, honestly, unless you've ever experienced it.
Nah,
Abusive relationships are complex, bro. Like
I can't,
there
I
is
can't, I
something
can't
that
speak about it,
draws.
obviously.
Listen, yeah, there's something that draws
And
people
also her
together. So we
father as
don't
well.
know. We don't know.
Her father went to the papers and did he not deny it or something? Or he said
Yeah,
something like I don't know what he said.
he backed Mason
He
straight away, innit?
he backed Mason Greenwood straight away. So
No,
I
no,
don't
no,
know
no.
whether
Listen. I follow this very carefully.
Okay.
If you ever read the original statement of her dad, you know that wasn't her dad. That was
of course.
Harriet. He was speaking her words in a statement. When he gave a statement, you know she was like, Dad, you got to do this for me. You got to do this for me. So it wasn't done out of like, because I'm telling you, no father,
No.
after seeing that footage, hearing that, is unless you know something we don't know. But honestly, listen, look, if any of you can go and find it, the original statement from her family, it was her speaking through her dad, Saeed. And it was her asking her dad, this is what you got to put out.
Now I'm just basing it on what we heard. It didn't add up to what the situation was. Because when the situation happened, it was the father obviously putting out a statement, looking like he's backing the Mason Greenwood and whatnot. That's why I'm looking at it from what black and white, what I'm looking at. But let me get the super chats involved. Killis is saying here, big up to you, my guy, Killis. They said they didn't base this decision on ethics or humanity, but on money, scum. You know, I mean, that's towards the Glazers and whatnot. And Richard Arnold. Big up to Archie said, will you be open to Greenwood growing and resolving this and then coming back? Because Arnold could re-sign the boy. The statement for him leaves more. And this is why, for me, I do agree with Archie a little bit. The statement gave an indication. And I know, Nuruddin, you're going to say, well, that's what they're going to do. But why would you put that on a statement for them fans to use that against him? Why would you do that? Why as a CEO, and you made the decision, by the way, because he says in the comment, I made the decision. Why would you leave an openness? It's almost like it's not a yes or no. It's like, it's a leading question. It's like, hold on a minute, close it. Close the damn book. If you made a decision, close the damn book. No,
he wants to look good. He wants to look good on both sides, I think, because he wants.
There you go. Then
at the same time, the whole time that they were treating this whole case, I think also they're trying to look at a player side and be like, what if he's not innocent? Then they don't want to build a precedent or make it look some type of way that the club is not supporting the player that might need help. So that's why I think they keep it open so that they look good for the victim side, and they look good for Mason Greenwood's side, and they look good for the fans. That's why I think they always leave it open so that they can say, yeah, but we treated Mason Greenwood right. That's why we didn't sack him. He needed help. We got him through therapy, whatever. I think they're always trying to keep it in the middle and neutral so that if anything happens in the future, they can say, let's say in a year's time, Greenwood comes out and he's like, I've never done it, and Man United didn't back me. Then there's a lot of people that are going to be negative towards Man United and saying, it's one of your players, you didn't help him, you didn't back him, you didn't help him in case of need. And then we're going to have the conversation of clubs looking at players like they are property instead of human beings. So that's why I think they keep it neutral, so that if anything happens in the future, they can be like, yeah, we treated the situation with the right sense or right morals. I think that
if I punch, big up to Zoetank. He says here, Nordin, if I punch myself in the face and take a picture, does it mean you've assaulted me? Let's hear it all out. Pictures mean nothing. We need stronger evidence. United said they found he didn't nothing wrong. Again, I'm gonna let Nordin, take.
Listen, at the end of the day, it's simple, innit? It's simple, innit? So for me, I go by this, innit? So I'll do it by one. Fuck my lawyers. Fuck my PR. Fuck the football club. If somebody accuses me of the evidence that's out there is making me look like I'm an abuser, I don't give F to anything, Saeed. I'm coming out on camera with my full chest. I'm calling a press conference to say, yo, what you saw is this. This is the bigger picture. And I'm breaking every point down. It's simple.
Mm.
It's absolutely simple, people.
No,
At the end of the day,
yeah.
at the end of the day, you might have a point that people can make up stuff, but I'm sorry to say,
of course.
you know what you do
Yeah.
then? Well, you expose that then.
Yeah.
You don't stand there and be a victim to it. If somebody's been, you know what I mean? If somebody's trying to make it out like you're an abuser and you're not. At the end of the day, it's simple. Mason's comment says, I have did something wrong. Oh, yeah. He's admitting to guilt is there as well. I can look at a statement from Mason and from the club. Both of them have said Mason has not covered himself. He accepts. Yeah. At the end of the day, it's simple. Let me say something to you now, people. If Mason Greenwood, right? If Mason Greenwood is innocent of all charges, he's innocent and didn't do anything, right? Then we've got even bigger things to worry about, because we've got incompetent people at the top of this football club who are just trying to get rid of a young footballer who is innocent. But that's not how it is. And we know that's not how it is. And Brian just told you, no guilty person. If I'm innocent, I'm not walking away. Are you kidding me? I'm taking Manchester United to court for unwrongful dismissal.
But that's
I'm
why
taking the Greater Manchester Police to court. Saeed, I've got the money, millions. I'm taking the Greater Manchester Police to court. I'm going out to clear my name. Simple as. Yeah. I ain't staying docile, mate. I'm sorry. I'm not giving vague little jobs interview to the Sun newspaper. I'm not doing that. I'm going to come out with my chest and make statements.
Yeah. Zoatek comment says that you guys are missing the fact that Man United themselves said Mason is innocent. Again, we have to stress there was no verdict in the end. The case was dropped. So I don't understand, Zoatek, what this means. But I'm going to read your comment anyway, that Mason is innocent in their statement. After the investigation, they said he did nothing wrong. Again, it depends on who you
So why are they sacking him then?
That's the thing.
So
that doesn't make sense.
Why are they sacking him then?
Why are you sacking him?
Why are you sacking him then? Why are you sacking him then, Sotak? Sotak, you're trying to do mental gymnastics. You try to play three-dimensional chess, brother, but you can't, because you can't make it make sense for us. You can't make it make sense for me personally. Yep. Why are they sacking a guy who's innocent then?
Yeah, and that's for me, that's the problem.
And you know what, Saeed? I'm not lying to you. Regardless, if you're innocent, if you know the person's innocent and you 100% back, regardless of backlash, you're backing that person. You're going to back that person.
Yeah.
You're going to back that person. I know 100%. If I got accused of something, Saeed here is going to back me if he knows the truth and knows that I'm innocent. He's going to back me. Brian's going to back me. I'm going to back both of them.
Yeah.
I ain't terminating no contract with nobody.
Yeah. And probably this is the best bit to kind of round it up. Sack due to PR. Simple as that. Sack. But no, I'm saying
it's public pressure.
The club said public pressure on, and that was it. Because I genuinely believe what they gave to the briefing was that they were trying to bring him back, so they were testing the waters, and they got found out. But anyway, people, we're gonna move on, because I feel like for me, he doesn't deserve a whole show, and we got bigger problems. He's not a Manchester United player anymore.
Saeed, I'm done with it now. He's not a Manchester United player anymore. We wish him all the best of luck. Listen, we wish him all the best of luck. He's one player, and you know what? We move on. We move on. I promise you guys, Mason Greenwood is a multimillionaire. After this sacking from Manchester United, he's still going to be a multimillionaire. And you know what? It's a privileged thing to play professional football. He's going to move on. He's going to rebuild his career. We wish him all the best and luck with it. But Manchester United is a shambles. You know now your football club. Your football club is speaking both sides of its mouth. And you can't do that. You can't speak both sides of your mouth.
Yep. V33 says here, 1 second. Only way for the saga to end is for the victim to come out and speak up. If she says she's innocent, her name is tarnished. It's a lose-lose for both. Yeah, absolutely. Guys, 1.5K there. Please, let's get to 1,000 likes ASAP, people. If you're watching right now and you haven't hit the like button 36 minutes in, then shame on you. But you've got time to rectify yourself. Now is the time to rectify yourself and hit the like button, because I'm telling you now, we've got bigger problems than Mason Greenwood on the right. We've got Anthony to deal with, who can't seem to do his job. So anyway, we've got a lot to deal with. You know what I mean? One player will not fix this club. I'm telling you now, mate. When I'm seeing Mason Mount, Casemiro, and Bruno get exposed in midfield, ain't no Mason Greenwood going to come back and save this football club. So we need to focus on what we have right now. And what we have right now. I see
Anthony and Rashford still on vacation. Nobody fixing this. Nobody fixing this, people.
Well, you know what? Let's get Brian's opinion because we had a long chat on Saturday, Nordin. But let's
Go
get
on.
Ryan's opinion on what's going wrong at Man United right now. Is it Ten Hag? Is it his talent ID that's costing us right now? Is it the fact that you know what we don't actually play great football and we've kind of been played by Ten Hag?
Mhm.
Is it patience? All of you reactionary fans, shut up and be patient and back the manager. You know what I mean? You know what they say, back the manager. But
Mhm.
where is it, Nordin? Where is it? Sorry, Brian. Like you
It's
know,
for me, it's a combination because I remember 2 weeks ago, Nordin said it as well. Like we're playing like last season, and I wanted to give the first game of the season a bit of time because I knew it was new, it was fresh, and sometimes it takes time for teams to come back to get up to scratch. But then the game against Spurs, where we had a few chances, because that's something that we forgot as well. And when you watch the game, you had a few chances, and if you bag them, then the game goes differently. For me, it's partly on Ten Hag, and this is the first time I'm a little bit on this case, is because the game before was bad. Okay, I understand you're trying to stick through with the players who played. You won the game, so there's not really a lot of reasons to change. But for me, he changes too late all the time. And for me, it's too predictable when we go into games. We knew which starting 11 is going to start. We knew who's going to start, and that's happened throughout the whole of last season as well. Where only when it gets bad, that's when he changes. And for me, when you're a great manager, you can read games before it started. And that's something, and a lot of people on Twitter said that, and I have to sometimes I'm very critical of football Twitter, but a lot of people said that we're gonna get overran. The midfield that Tottenham has built is with a lot of energy, and we have energy as well, but we can't keep the ball, so we don't have no control. So that's something that your manager has to see up front. Then there's certain players who are not hitting levels. Mason Mount, I think is going to be a good transfer, but it's not working out. That midfield balance is not good. The way we played last season with a two with a pivot two, now we're playing with a 6 and 2 8s. Don't know where that transition comes from. He tries to put in his own style of play, but it's not working right now. Rashford is playing out position, so there's a lot of things that doesn't make sense. First of all, it's on Ten Hag. Then it's about the transfers. Is it too much his own talent, scouting ID or talent ID? I think so as well. Because I said it a few weeks ago as well. I don't want to get only players from the Dutch competition. I don't only want to get players that
oh,
played for him
well, it be
before.
Gravenberch, so we got another one coming.
Yeah, but
So
I don't like that. So that's something that I'm putting on to Hag as well. But at the same time, we know all this. We don't have any money and we can't spend money on players. That's something that also plays into part, and that's why I think he gets players sometimes that are easy to get because he knows he works with them before. But this is mainly for me on Ten Hag, and I'm not one. I don't want to be that person, but sometimes you just have to be very honest with situations, and doesn't matter really how much you like a person or you like how much you like a player or a manager. This is on Ten Hag. Rashford should play on the wing, and that midfield just needs to be fixed up.
Brian, no,
Mm.
you have to lie, Brian. You have to be part of toxic positivity, and you know what you see with your own eyes, and the fact that you play football and you cover content of football, and you're a football what's the word? You're a football like fanatic in terms of analysis, what
yeah,
your own game, whatever. We're all football nerds here.
Mm.
You're a football nerd, but no, you have to dissuade that and lie to the public and go, no, Ten Hag is the man. You know, all of this. You have to lie to people because that there is called toxic positivity. You have to get on a toxic positivity train.
I get that though.
yeah.
I'm usually more on that side, but you have to be. Sometimes you just have to be honest in it, and we can't always cover up everything. That's what
That's
we do
what
at
it
this
is,
club. We
bro.
cover up everything, but it's not great right now. But I'm not
No,
saying he
it
has to.
is.
I'm not saying he has to get sacked though. That's not. I'm not one of
No,
those
I'm not.
people.
I'm not. And
Yeah.
people. A lot of people are forcing me to say it when I'm like, listen, I've been here before, and it's not going to work. Sacking a manager is a short-term fix, and even I've learned that. Nuruddin, listen. 4 years ago, if you'd asked me, yeah, sack every manager, I'd be like, yeah, sack him. But I'm just like, hold on a minute. Like, how many years are we just going to sack manager? It's just the same old revolving door. Like, what happens? What is our recruitment like? What is the kind of the people, the power be? What are they doing? How are they providing the structure and everything that's needed to win? Like, it's not going to work just sacking a manager. I do think for me, though, there is strong criticism that is building on Ten Hag. These are his players. These are his guys, Nuruddin. These are his. This is forming to be his philosophy, and ultimately he can't hide away from that. But sacking managers, I just think for me it's boring, man. I generally think the players here that have been here 8 years, yeah, 8, 9 years, the players here who now have been given captains right now, and that's Bruno Fernandes, yeah. And I'm going to call him out because I feel like for me, there's a lot of whinging going on when it should be performing on the football pitch. I want to see excuses not being made off the field. I want everyone just to have a good 90 minutes, not 45 minutes, 90 minutes. Apply yourselves on the pitch. And I don't think any fans would say, you know what? They gave it their all. And you know what? We did try. But
Yeah.
you can't do it for 45 minutes. And what I'm seeing with the fan bases, yeah, and it's quite alarming, to be honest with you, is that there's an acceptance to say, you know what? He did his job and that person did this job. No, it's a collective team.
Yeah.
And what happens in the second half is the collective team goes missing. I'm sorry, the collective team goes missing. I don't
Cowards,
care if someone who's
Saeed, Cowards FC. From where we
That's
were
what I'm
last
saying to
season,
you. You win
cowards,
together, you lose together. You win together and you lose together.
collective cowards.
It was very poor.
Cowards.
It was very
So
poor this
first of all,
weekend.
Saeed, listen, I'm the foremost first. I was never Ollie out till the end where I was like, this guy's trying to get himself sacked. I would come in here and people are like, are you Ollie out? Are you Ollie out? I'm like, no, certain games, yeah. I was like, get him out of here. This clown doesn't know what he's doing. Jose made me lose my hair. That
Yeah.
Jose
He did have
football
hair, by the way. He did have hair.
made me lose my hair.
Mhm.
Let's be right about here, people, right? Van Gaal
Same
is
thing.
the only manager that I think about out of those three, Moyes, Jose, Ollie. He's the only manager I think we should give a chance to because we should have got him better recruitment. But Saeed, I'm sorry to say, Ten Hag's to blame. And you know what, people? Just because you criticize the manager, that means your head and neck are not buried inside his backside. I'm not one of those people. I don't do player FC. I don't do manager FC. What is in front of us? Honest analysis is what you see right there in front of you. Can you say something authentic to that and say, oh, they're doing brilliantly. This is working out brilliantly. That's the evidence. It's all out there. And what Saeed said, he hit it right on the head. I see now this morning, I posted it. I see that Bruno Fernandes feels though the referee didn't listen to him, and referees might not listen to him, even though he's captain now because of his bad reputation. You know what I say to that? Victim, we're a victim. Listen, Bruno Fernandes had the chance to correct all of that BS. You know, one place, all of that talk, all of that referee, this, we already know. Saeed, I'm not going to lie to you. Go and check my tweet out. I said, keep an eye on the referee and the VAR because of all palaver to create content because of Manchester United to go on about that penalty that wasn't given against us.
Yeah.
So you let the fans do that. Bruno, you leave that to us, the fan base, or you leave it to people at the club, or you leave it to journalists who support the club. You leave it to them people. You know what you do, Bruno? You know what you can affect? You know what you can do? You're fucking captain of Manchester fucking United. And you know what? I watched my fucking team get bopped all over that fucking park. Football now in the Premier League is 100 fucking minutes plus, and we got bopped except for 30 minutes in that first half. Rest of it, we were getting bopped. You know what I know what bop means, people? I'll spell it for you. BOPPED. Bobbed. That's like a dance from the 1920s, 30s, and where you grab partner and you bob them all over the dance floor. And that's what happened to Manchester United. We got bobbed. And you know what? I talked about it last season and people said to me, stop being negative. They're being negative. I said, it's alarming. When we go away from home, we're getting bopped by these. I was not even on top 4. It's not a top 5. It's not a top 6. It's not a top 7. It's the top 10 in the Prem. We're getting bopped all over the show in every fucking game.
Yeah. And
Saeed, we said it on this channel. I said it to you. I don't know if Brian was there. And I said, you know what? He's under a lot of pressure. Now, I'll finish my point, land my point with this. As Manchester United fans, we have to come to a conclusion. The club and the fans have to come to a conclusion. Do we want, for me, I said to Saeed, and anybody and their dog and their cat, I told the whole world, the reason why I wanted Erik ten Hag is I said, I have given up of competing and being sold a lie and a dream that I'm going to be competing for Champions League and the Premier League. So that dream was done. I exposed that. Everybody exposed it. It exposed itself. For a decade, Manchester United won 2 League Cups, 1 Europa League, and I don't even recognize them. I recognize the FA Cup. 4 trophies in a decade, right? So I said I wanted, and the reason why I wanted Ten Hag, a majority of the fan base wanted Ten Hag was what, Saeed? We wanted him because of the football. Right. Now, at Manchester United, because we're Manchester United. But we're Manchester United. But we're Manchester United. We have to decide. The football club, the vultures who run this shit, the fan base, the managers that come in. I give the perfect example. Klopp came into Liverpool, gave them the fans something to point to. They go, we can get behind that. It's going to take time. Fergie, I want to give fucking hysterical context. Fergie came to an abysmal club full of alcoholics. He had to get rid of all these players, bought in something. And you know what? Fergie won on a 4th year, Saeed. Klopp won on his 4th fucking year. Right. People want, we want a trophy. We have to decide as a fan base. Do we want a manager to come at the first season, fuck all the competition, go there and just build a team, be so drilled in his aspects of his style of play, and then bring in players that fit into that, face them out, and year 3, ready to compete for the big trophies? Are we a club to do that? No, we're not. Because half of the fan base, or a lot of the fan base, want a trophy. So all the time we go for quick fix. So this question about Ten Hag is a fundamental one. Sometimes it takes a year to get your ideas across to a team. Sometimes it can take 2 years. For me, I'm giving this man 2 to 3 years, Saeed. I'm giving him that time. I'm giving him that time. That's what I always did. And I told Saeed when he was Ollie out and when everybody else was going outside, no, guys, it's the football structure. Managers can't all be failing. They can't all be woeful. It's the football structure and our recruitment thing. So the people at this football club need to get sacked. It ain't the manager this time. It's the fucking football structure. And wake the fuck up, you clowns.
Well, there you go.
I agree.
I'm going to read a couple of super chats that we missed out. Big up to Tambourine. He says Super League and Artificial now Greenwood. 3 decisions overturned by backlash of fans. Sacking needs to happen immediately. I think before Zoetex said Man United sacking because they're no flipping balls. Man United are speaking from both sides of their truth. Big up Pratish. He says, apparently we are the biggest club in the world. So why can't we buy a 30 million midfielder without selling other players? It's a total shit show. Archie, big up. He says, question needs to be asked about Rashford. We've seen him have horrible games at left wing and striker. Also, he hasn't had consistent back-to-back seasons. Also, Luke Shaw, Ten Hag has to do a merit-based system. That one for me as well. His stubbornness in terms of players needs to go as well. He can't have just because you know what you played in the Eredivisie with you. No, mate, you need to be benched, man. Anthony needs to be benched next game, but will he do that? I don't think he will. So let's see, man. V33 says, do you see Pep Arteta with the crap like Eric Ten Hag? Unlike how City and Arsenal have chopped their deadwoods fast and replaced, he's handicapped by the Glazers. That's spot on. It's spot on. You know, Maguire, he's been told you need to, basically, it's told him in a nice way you need to leave, but he still won't go. You know what I mean? But ultimately, there has to be a criticism of the style of football. And will it get better? Have we underestimated Ten Hag in that regards? Probably. Have we misprofiled the manager? Probably. You know what I mean? I thought there would be an element of control. I didn't think it would be this style of football, if I'm being really honest with you. But like I said, man, I'm willing to have trophies. I'm probably not like Nuruddin in that aspect. Yes, style of play is one thing, but having style of play and not winning anything, I just think it's a bit of a, I don't know, it just doesn't really sit with me. I think you could do both. A top manager could have a style of play and win a trophy. I'm sorry, man. We're in 2023 now. This idea that you can't have a style of play and win trophies, what's that all about? Why is it one or the other? I don't get that, Nuruddin.
I'm sorry,
why is it one or the other?
I'm really sorry, Saeed. No. That is when you've got your recruitment and football structure and you're not owned by the Glazers.
Yeah, I get that.
So if the Glazers didn't exist, if the recruitment was right, then yeah. Especially by year 2, you have to build.
Perfect marriage, yeah.
For me,
okay, let me ask you a question then.
Let me just make this quick point. Last season, if Eric Ten Hag came in, because we finished 6th anyway, if he finished exactly the same place or around 7th, but he cleared out the dead wood, the club worked behind him like they were with Arteta, like they were with fucking Klopp, like they were with Pep. Pep, they bought in players he wanted. And the guys decided together, the transfer thing committee decided together. And you know what they did? They were like, it didn't work out. He's like, get me some more. Yeah, they got him some more. Manchester United is not that. No fucking manager has ever. The only guy who's ever been back the second year with this amount of money, and Saeed, I'm not going to say that it's 400 million, because I want to see what the outgoings are and then look at what we bought in and how much we let go as well. So at the end of the day, listen, at the end of the day, it's simple. Manchester United, Manchester United are not a football club where you're backed by, if the owners were correct, Saeed, and the structure was right, that manager has nowhere to fucking hide.
Let me ask you a question, though. When you look at the basis of Ten Hag has chosen this recruitment in terms of he's had full control, then Nuruddin, where does it go from there then? Because if Ten Hag has specifically chosen these guys to come into the football club, because that's what it looks like, Nuruddin, where's the blame go there then? Is that on the football club or is that on Ten Hag then? Because he's bought Anthony, he's bought Mason Mount, he's bought Lisandro. These guys are his guys. I get it. The ones that have been sold is fair enough. They need to get sold, and that's down to the fact that Man United are probably not good at selling players. But where's the fault lie there then? Because that's not on the football club, is it?
Listen, I genuinely want to let Brian come in and I'll answer your question because I've spoken a lot.
Okay, go on.
Nah, I want to go back to your first point of saying the style of play. I think there was a period throughout last season as well where it looked like he was implementing the style of play, was keeping the ball, and then something happened throughout the season, injuries, I don't know what happened, and we stopped playing that type of football. This season, he changed the system a little bit. And then the key thing was, he basically let his own philosophy go and said, we want to play transition football. We're trying to be more in the style of Man United. So I think he looked at the squad, looked what he'd done before and said, maybe this is the best thing for the club. I don't agree, because he came in and we all expected him to play a certain style of possession football, possession-based football. Then the other thing is, we looked at the transfers. I don't expect every transfer that comes in, obviously you want to, but I don't expect every transfer to come in to work out straight away or to be successful. If you look at all the players I brought in, and let's be honest, last season everyone was gassed about Casemiro. Now we're all a bit skeptical. So that's, for me, you're already moving your opinion based on half a season or based on a few games. For me, Malacia, everyone started the season, everyone last year, Malacia, great signing, now he's bad. Anthony, great start, now he's bad. For me, I'm not going to look at players and say, this is all Ten Hag's fault, because sometimes just players don't work out. And it's about scouting, and it's about who you're getting. And the other thing is, does he get all of his main targets? No, because the whole of last season, or the whole of last transfer period in August last year, was going for Frankie, and then we ended up with Casemiro. Two different type of players, two different type of profiles. Which one did he really want? Which one is really his signing? I don't even know if Casemiro is still his signing. So I have to look at that. So for me,
can I rebuttal that then?
Yeah.
So okay then. So he's brought in Casemiro and he's got De Jong. Okay. That should be a case of he should have got De Jong. But then, if I ask you the question of, if Casemiro is next to midfielders, would you put Mason Mount in there? Like, is that naivety on him? To when he's seen the midfield and what he lacked and what he didn't lack here, was it right to bring in then Mason Mount as a person that would sit next to Casemiro? Because I don't think that is then. So I get it on one side, he should have got De Jong and we should have had a different philosophy. But then also, for you to say that Mason Mount is the answer for that midfield when he already needed 2 or 3 probably in there, with losing Fred, with losing Donny. Listen, Eriksen's legs are gone, man. He's a bit part player. And then you're losing McTominay possibly if he goes. You're losing 4 midfielders. But yet, you know what? We need Mason Mount. Like, I don't get that. I really don't get that. That's why
that's the change of style of play that he accepted over the summer. I think that's where he changed this is his idea of football with Man United. Because it doesn't make sense to me either. Like, it doesn't make sense that you go from a controlling player that's Frankie de Jong.
You're going against the philosophy. You're going against the philosophy.
But I think that's because
he said
the players that he wants as well.
Everything Brian said, looks like Brian has watched that interview that I watched when he gave to him when the guy asked him about the style of play, and he said, I looked at the squad and my players, and it's on the players that I have, and that's where we ought to play the football. He said the manager has to bend to the players that he has. not what his philosophy is. And he even uses the word, Brian, competency. If you go on my Twitter, Brian, honestly, it's there. It's down below, but it's there. And I tweeted it and said, this is what he's trying to do. He says that blatantly and honestly with his chest. The players cannot play my style of football.
Yeah.
So I have to go back to what Manchester United want. So at the end of the day, Saeed, this summer, this window, he wanted Kim Min-jae. He wanted Harry Kane. What did Manchester United get him? Manchester United get. So you can blame him, Saeed, for the Mason Mount, yeah? That's on him, yeah? But where's Kim Min-jae? Where is Kane?
Even Amrabat now.
Even Amrabat now. I don't know what's
And by
going
the
on
way,
with that
people,
one,
and by the way, people, please, let's not make this about Mason Mount. Let's not just think that because one guy's coming to our team, we were playing this shit football since February last year. Yeah. Let's not get all blame it on it. It's easy. Saeed, let me
get it.
Let me just get this point. Manchester United always need a scapegoat, and we always need a savior.
It's not about being a scapegoat. I don't think it is. No, my question is after.
I'm sorry.
No,
it's two games.
You haven't listened to me. Okay, let me ask you a question. But this is what I'm saying to you. You then had to be very, very careful and meticulous about what you are spending then. And I'm trying to say that is that when you looked at our midfield, did it need, because he was very, very specific on Mason Mount. Why I'm stressing Mason Mount is because it was 60 million and the profile we needed wasn't that. That's why I'm saying to you, Lord.
Saeed, I'm not going to lie to you.
You should have brought Fred back. That's why I'm not going to lie to you.
Saeed, I'm not going to lie to you. By the way, go and share that video. Go and share that.
Yeah.
The match reaction. Hold tight, Pastor Fred in Turkey sunshine. Right. Hold tight. Erik ten Hag is not going to be the first manager that's brought in a players that he thought the idea of, and the reality once he gets that player and the system that he wanted to fit him in, that doesn't work out. Now, I'm saying this with a huge caveat, people. It's 2 games. Yeah. I remember Vidic and Evra coming and absolutely look. Saeed, you should have heard the fan base at the Stratford end. You should have heard the chat. They're like, who are these clowns? Who brought these clowns into this football club? These guys do not even know which way is north or which way is south. Like, honestly, they were like, who are these clowns? What are they doing at this football club? Do they not know them? Have they joined the wrong club? Saeed, the chit-chat. Now you got social media. People think people used to be on the road. You see the conversations on the stands and on the road, going up to the game and coming out of the game. Listen, Mason Mount, for me personally, people said that he played that for England. I don't watch England too tough. I don't watch England that too tough. But for Chelsea, he was more of an attacking midfield player. Can play on the left, can play on the right, pop up there as the number 10. And unless this guy is a replacement for Bruno, I will have to still see. And I am Saeed, and majority of the fans should be bow down to the knowledge of Ten Hag. Listen to me. Listen, bow down to the knowledge of Ten Hag. Let the guy bed in. And that's why I said, because now listen, he's an English player. He didn't come from Russia. He didn't come from France. He came from London, right? And now to some Northerners and some to Southerners, you might as well be in France. You might as well be in Russia. The difference is that difference, yeah?
By the way, Pavard's gone to Inter Milan.
Yeah.
Pavard's gone to Inter Milan now.
That's mad.
So good. To me, I never wanted that guy anyway. That's me personally.
Same.
Yeah. I never wanted that guy.
Keep it Lindelof anyway. We're keeping Lindelof, people, so don't worry. We're covered anyway. We're covered. You know what I mean?
So the point I want to make quickly, Saeed, is that at the end of the day, I'm giving him 6 to 7 months, 8 months, 9 months. To me, he has to play 20 games. He has to play 20 odd games for me to make a judgment. Remember what I used to say to you when Fred wasn't getting a chance, or when I'm like, you can't judge a player unless you get 10 to 15 games in a row to play, and then you make the judgments about that.
No, that's fair. That's fair. Big up to Kyle says, if people think that you can't win with the style, don't watch football. Tiki-taka, gegenpress, Deserby. People need to accept that cause they like players who have low football IQ but get good GA. Yeah, that's fair enough as well. Yeah.
I don't know why I said Deserby though. That doesn't make sense.
That's
gassed up as well. I don't like that. Yeah, but he's a good manager, but he hasn't won anything either. So
that's what I'm saying. You have to be very careful who you want, people, man. I get it, he plays good football, but does he have the other side of the game? It's all well and doing it for Brighton, but when you're at Man United, there's a mental edge as well to it as well. Because at Man United, you have to win every single game. At Brighton,
the pressure is different.
Pressure's different.
You saw the same thing with Potter at Chelsea. He played great football as well with Brighton.
But there you go. He played excellent football, and everyone wanted him as Man United manager.
Yeah.
What happened at Chelsea? He crumbled. He aged like 10 years. So listen, you have to be very careful, man. Knowledge says here Eric Ten Hag's moving like a coward. Player style, and he will expose the players he needs to keep or sell. That's what Pep and Klopp did. Look at them now.
True, but our
That's
fans base
solid,
doesn't
solid
work like
words,
that.
man.
We don't
Yeah.
work like that, like fans. Because right now, I'm seeing on Twitter, everyone wants to see McTominay next to Casemiro. But then when he does that, it's like, oh, he's giving up his philosophy and everything. So people say that like play your style, whatever. But then when we get battered 5-0, then we're gonna say, "Oh no, but you should show up, and we should have played more defensively." That's what we done last year when we lost a couple of games, and they were like, "Oh, we was pushing too much for a goal." So I don't agree with people saying that. Let the manager build. It's gonna take time, and like Nuruddin said, and I agree, it might take years, but we knew that. We knew it's gonna take a long time, and with our club not bringing in the players that he wanted, like he wanted to bring in Frimpong, and then we bought no right back. So that already shows that the players that he wants to get, that he wants to bring in, is going to take a long time. And then he finally got Onana, but at the back end of preseason. So he's going to take time. So I'm not going to be too critical of him. I think, push a little bit more for your playing style. But at the same time, as our fan base, and he knows that if he lose 5 games on a bounce, he's going to be under pressure to get sacked. And he doesn't want that as well. So he needs to find a middle way where I'm going to win games and play the game and play the football that I can play with the team. Not that I want to play, that you can play.
Absolutely. Guys, we're going to wrap it up here, man. Big up to everybody who's locked in, man. Giving your opinions.
Read this
deserving wins with style. That's all. Well, we'll see.
The
we'll
pressure
see
at Manchester United is different, Saturday. The pressure at Manchester United is so different. But I understand, and I love watching Brighton.
I love watching them. But I'll be honest with you, I don't know what he's going to be like when he comes to Man United. That's just a simple reality of that one.
But the fact that people are jumping the game, Saeed, people are already Ten Hag out. I find that ridiculous. By the way,
it's mad.
You can criticize the manager all day, every day for his decisions and still not be the manager out. Like, I don't know what Saeed, I don't know. Saeed, I genuinely don't know what's going on with his fan base. Like, you can criticize the manager and not be the manager out. I want Ten Hag to do it good. But I hope he's not sold me a dream. Saeed, I hope that and this is where me and you disagree, fundamentally disagree. You think you need to win and still have a start, and I think it takes time to do that. So for me, last season, I'm not going to lie to you, last season, he should have just stuck to his principles and philosophy, got in the players that he could. He went for Frankie, go for somebody else who can ball carry, who's got similar attributes. It might not be the same. Listen, he might not be the same guy, but you know what? Everybody panicked because the pressure already from within is for Manchester United to win. So at the end of the day, we need to have a football club, a manager, a football club like Arsenal did. Saeed. Arsenal, a clear example. He finished 8th and I didn't sack him.
Yeah,
he finished 5th and I didn't sack him.
Yeah.
I don't want to. For me, I'm not really. I wouldn't.
No, but what I'm saying to you,
now you want to win. I understand. He wants to.
No,
I want to win as well. That makes sense.
We want to win, but what I'm saying to you, like,
we finished third. No. We finished third, and the fan base feel like this. Imagine we finished 8th twice.
No,
come on, man.
We've seen that.
Saeed, what the point? What I'm trying to make to you is now. Listen, the point I'm trying to make to you is this simple now, right? Right at this moment, this season, if Arteta doesn't win a major trophy, then he's got toast. Arsenal have the right to sack him because they backed him. It's on his 4th year now. That's what I'm saying to you. If Ten Hag is giving, if he had a right football structure, if he had the right owners, and then he's backed, and then all his policies, getting rid of big players, all the decisions, clear out everything else, then if he doesn't win now, then he is a bottle job, like you said. But we're not in that process. The great Fergie, what everybody's going mad about.
The different
it took him 4. No, Saeed, but it's football is football. It took Klopp 4 years. Yeah. The bigger thing, Saeed, is that what you have to do with fans like you have to. The manager has to show you that this style can win, and that you have to believe in that for you to be patient.
His position will become untenable, not the decision of my thing. Because when the players don't listen to his style and they start not running and pressing, you'll see it for yourself. I don't need to say Ten Hag out for the players to say Ten Hag out. The players will say it for themselves. So I've just gone, for me, I don't know what it solves sacking the manager. I really don't. I've got to that point now where who do we get after Ten Hag, really? Let's be honest, man. I don't know what. I think Man United are cursed. And I'll say it again, man. United are cursed people, man. If someone's cast a spell, someone's done something, and they've habaned United, and they said, you know what, United will never win a major trophy again. I don't know, because
Don't say that.
this
Don't
don't
say
make
that. Don't
sense.
say that. Don't say that. Knock on
I
wood.
don't
Knock
know,
on wood.
man.
Knock
I'm
on wood. Knock on
confused
wood.
in it, man.
It's
It's
been
just,
time, bro. It's been
it's
time.
mad.
Now give the
Bro, I
manager
don't know.
time,
Saeed,
man.
I'm
Saeed, you
just
know
seeing Man
what?
City with a trouble, mate. They're
Listen,
living life.
Saeed,
Maybe
I
it's our
called
time
it.
to suffer.
Brian, I'm sorry, I called it. Under this ownership, under this football model, the Glazonomics,
But there
the
you go.
Manchester United are not winning a
Qatar need to
Champions
come.
League or
I
a
believe, man.
Premier
I
League.
believe, man. I believe, man. I believe. I believe. I believe. I
That's not
believe.
happening.
Mate,
Toxic
it's gonna come, man.
positivity. I believe. I believe. Flag.
Yeah, you're out. We
Yes,
found you.
Brian.
We found you.
Stick to your guns, Brian. Bring it
Stick
back.
to your guns. But listen, people, we're going to move over because we need to go to United Real Therapy and go on Nuruddin's channel.
Join
Brian,
us,
big
people.
up to you for
Trust me,
coming
it's
on.
going to get interesting. Join us. It's going to be an
Yeah,
interesting
definitely
show.
join us. But Brian, big up to you, man, for coming on. Thanks to you. Yeah, man. Big up to you, bro.
Shout out to you. Shout out to Nuruddin. Shout out to Saeed. Thank you for having me. I'm gonna take a nap because the wedding was long. I have a great
I
show.
hear you. I hear you.
Yeah, how's the recovery, bro? Please, before we go, how's the
It's
recovery?
going very well, man. I'm very happy. I had my last scan, I think 2 weeks ago. Doctor was satisfied. I have another scan in 2 months, but everything's going right. I'm just building up muscle right now in my left leg. I can finally do the stairs normally. So we're moving. We're moving.
Go on, Brian. In the swimming pool as well. You in the pool?
Yeah. Oh, I'm coming. I'm coming to see United Burnley September 23rd, but I'm gonna stay in Manchester. So
We're going out.
link
We're
up,
going out.
link
We're
up,
going out. We're
link
going
up,
out.
link
We're
up.
going
Yeah,
out.
link
We're
up, link
showing
up.
you, bro. Peace, love.
Alright.
Right,
Yeah,
big up
man,
people. Listen,
definitely.
come and join us, people. Where are they? Go on,
Yeah.
go and join us.
Yeah.
We're
Nuruddin,
going
you
live
go.
right now.
I'm going to wrap up the show. But big up to people, man. Make sure you guys like the video, people, man. There's been over 1.5K at one point, man. Guys, the channel can only grow, and we can only give you our own authentic opinions. You know what I mean? Really, truly. Because again, like I said to you, there's people that tiptoe around the situation. There's people that don't really give their opinions because they don't want maybe their channel or whatnot to kind of, disappear. But for me, I just speak on my own opinion, man. So people, make sure you guys are supporting the channel, support Nuruddin's channel. And yeah, man, I'll see you guys. You know what, guys? I won't be doing the watch along. I know watch along, people, man. I'm sorry, but my mum's my mum went to Turkey and she's just come back from Turkey and she's got me some gifts. So I can't just say, you know what I mean? Like, I'm doing a watch along. I can't see you tonight.
It's only Arsenal, anyways. It's fine. It's only Arsenal.
Yeah, man, it's only Arsenal, man.
It's
So
only
people,
Arsenal.
I've got to see what she bought me. I'm sorry I can't do the watch along, but I'll be back tomorrow anyway. So enjoy your day and I'll see you.